Tantra means it is a science which explains the pattern of the creation. Tantra is the science which explains us the patterns of this creation. That is Tantra. The arrangement of the creation is called Tantra. So that is a science, that is a branch of the Vedic science only. But unfortunately, this is wrongly translated, especially in the West, with sex. This has nothing to do with that. This is very awful. You find Tantra literature in English and in other languages, absolutely nonsense. That is not the real thing. The original books of Tantra, that is a science which explains all the wonderful, how the whole creation is manifested. Saundarya Lahari is, Lahari means, Saundarya Lahari means the waves of beauty. The wave of beauty. It is about the mother. And in this he says that Shiva, if he is not there along with Shakti, without Shakti, Shiva cannot move his arm. He cannot move himself. Movement itself is power. Shiva is intelligence, the consciousness. So consciousness can manifest only through power. Without power, there is no manifestation of consciousness. There is no manifestation of creation. Consciousness as such is like a light. So power, and the power is called Shakti. The power is called Mother. The consciousness is Father, power is Mother. So without power, without Mother, there is no manifestation. There is no creation at all. Impossible. So that is why he says that Mother is so important. So without her, even Shiva cannot do anything. Shivas Shaktya Yukto na bhavati Shaktaha prabhavitum. That is the stanza. He is not able to even make a little movement also without the mother. She should be there. So he should be, that is why he is always associated with mother. They are always together, inseparable. That is what is established by Shankaracharya in this book, in the form of poetry. It's a beautiful poetry. Poetical, in the poetry, this book is one of the highest of these poetical expressions. Yeah. But the very surprising thing to the normal people is, he is, from the very childhood, he is an ascetic, a monk, a sannyasi. He is not a householder. That is why some people are, how he could write such a beautiful poetry about the beauty and all this. But these fellows cannot understand. When he is at that level of consciousness, stabilized at soul level, all the wisdom is automatically done. He is on the highest. Yeah. Because he is specially incarnated. He is from the highest. He came from the highest. So nobody could compare himself with them. From the very childhood, he lived just like Jesus. He also lived only 33 years in the physical body. Years in the physical body. Shankaracharya, like Christ. Special task came, yeah. He was 100 years before Christ. So he lived 33 years, but in these 33 years, what he has given to the world is tremendous light. And by foot, several times he travelled throughout India because he was born in Kerala. And from Kanyakumari to the top of Himalayas, by foot he travelled several times. You cannot imagine. Very. He travelled whole of India. Yeah. He travelled the whole of India, to the west of India, to the east of India, to the north, to the south, to the whole of India. Yeah, he is prophet like Christ. That is why he could enlighten people like that. They are specially born for that. That is, he was born on the Vaishak, in the month of Vaishak, on the fifth phase of Vaishak. And Ramanujacharya, who came 1000 years later, Ramanuja, this is Shankara. His name is Shankara, Shankaracharya. Shankara. Shankaracharya. Another prophet, Ramanujacharya, he was also born exactly on the same day. That is very interesting. Ramanujacharya is another prophet. He is Shankaracharya, another is Ramanujacharya. Another great prophet. Same day but after 1000 years. Huh? Shankara is 100 years before Christ. Ramanuja is 1000 years after Shankara, in the 10th century. After 1000 years. Yes, 1000 years ago from now. But he was also born exactly on the same day, 5th phase of Vaishak. Divine plan, eh? It is a divine plan. Vaishak. Generally, it will be in the month of May. In the lunar calendar, it is on Vaishak, month of Vaishak, on the 5th phase of the moon. It's called Panchami. And incidentally, my birthday also the same. Vaishak.
So your birthday is 10th of May?
10th of May as date, but on that same phase, moon phase, Vaishak. On the Vaishak 5th, yes, 5th lunar, same lunar day. But we cannot compare with those. They are very highest like Himalayas. We are very tiny. Huh? Yes. Yeah? Buddha, that is on the full moon day. But his same month, yes, Vaishak, and the full moon day. So Tripurantaka, see, Tripurantaka is the destroyer of the three forms. Because this destruction, because this is a mystic story, allegory, Shiva has destroyed these demons who have built the three cities and wanted to control the whole of creation. They wanted to control the whole creation. That is impurity. If you get such thoughts, that is too much. So therefore, then Shiva, with the power of mother, with Tripura Bhairavi, so he destroyed this. That is why he is called Tripurantaka, the destroyer of the three forms. So each word is so significant. This is what we have to see. Oh yes, they want to block. Yes, 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 yes.
He's still talking.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. That is why Master intended to make this university, to give such teach, to spread this to many people.
But this is was already.
So the Tripurasuras, there are many. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes, that is the problem. The demonic forces, they are very strong. The Atlantean forces. They use all the technology to control everybody, only to control.
Because it's the expression of fear,
Yeah, that is the only one.
since it is based on fear,
Yes. Definitely they will lose. It is only a matter of time. Yes, finally, because ultimately it is the higher forces which are more powerful than these forces. And Trikagni Kalaya, now Tripurantakaya, Trikagni Kalaya, Trikagni. Trikagni means three fires. Three manifestations of the fire. These three manifestations are in connection with our existence. In our body, we have three manifestations of the fire. So the three manifestations, fire is called Agni. Agni is fire. So three manifestations. The first form of manifestation of Agni is Ahavaniya. Ahavaniya. This I have explained also when I was teaching in Kucheri. Also I told you in the classes in Kucheri in Ukraine and also in Jalatai, Gorka. Also there in the class I have explained about this Agni and the three manifestations. Ahavaniya Agni, and the second is called Garhapatya. Garhapatya. And the third is called Dakshina Agni. Dakshina. Ahavaniya Agni, Garhapatya Agni, and Dakshina Agni. Three Agnis. Garhapatya, Ahavaniya is different definitions. Ahavaniya means the Agni, the fire, through invocation. That means the Agni, the fire which is responsible for our receiving wisdom, the Agni of the higher planes. This is of the higher planes. Our intelligence and all these. Ahavaniya. Ahavaniya means the one which is to be invoked, which is the Agni that is invoked. Ahavaniya. Invoke the fire that is in the form of being invoked, which is responsible for our insight, for our intelligence, and this power of discrimination on the higher levels. And Garhapatya is Griha means house. Griha means residence. Griha. Griha. The word Griha means the dwelling place, the house or the residence. So our body is our dwelling place, like our house. So Grihapati means the owner of this Griha. Pati is owner as the Lord. Owner or the Lord who presides over. Yes, the owner. So he is the one who presides over everything. So he is responsible for all the metabolic activity. He has also another name. This Garhapatya is also called Vaishvanara. Vaishvanara. Yes, Vaishvanara Agni. The same thing is also called Vaishvanara. In the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamasvitaha. I am dwelling in the bodies of all beings in the form of the digestive fire. That is what he says. So there is all activity of fire only. Because our feeling hungry and receiving food, receiving drink, digesting, assimilation, all this is a process of combustion. And that is the manifestation of fire only. So that is all. That is conducted. That is because of this Garhapatya Agni or Vaishwanara Agni. That is. And the third one is Dakshina. Vaishwanara means Vishwa means universal. So Nara means the universal force which came into form of being. Vaishwanara. That is why it is called Vaishwanara. Nara means the individual being. Vaishwanara, it is the universe, because we are all human beings, we are all Naras, but in us the common factor is that universal man, universal person. So Vaishwanara. So the third one is Dakshina Agni. Dakshina. Dakshina means, here we have two directions, Uttara and Dakshina. Uttara is upper, the higher. Dakshina is the lower. So this Dakshina Agni is called the sexual fire, the fire of sex. And this Agni is responsible for the process of reproduction, progeny. Because that activity of reproduction is also a manifestation of fire only. That is why if you do not keep it pure, you are burnt away. The fire. The nature of, if you properly use the fire in any form, if it is properly used, you will be protected, you will have a very happy living. If you misuse it, you are burnt away. So also